This is Lysha Holmes, and I'm your host of the Recruiters Recruitment Podcast. And in this solo episode, you've clicked on this link because I'm going to share with you the three top things that I think all recruiters should be doing right now. That includes leaders, billing managers, and those starting out their career. First and foremost, number one, personal brand. Please don't underestimate how important it is to really curate the best and most consistent message across all platforms that you use. I think a common mistake is that people aren't going to click on your website. They're not going to go and do a Google research on you. They're not going to maybe go and have a snoop on your Facebook or your Instagram. The reality is that any potential stakeholder, whether that's a client, a candidate, a future employee or colleague, that is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go down a rabbit hole because it's what we all do now. We've got instant access to all that information. So, my first tip to you is to ensure that you have a consistent brand message across all platforms, bearing in mind the different voice and tone that you will use for each one. So, whether that's funny videos on TikTok, that's absolutely fine to then share those occasionally on your LinkedIn, for example, but you certainly wouldn't spam your LinkedIn like that. So, what is the message you want to generate across the different platforms? Understanding your voice, truly starting at the beginning with your values and really understanding who it is that you're looking to attract. You're not going to go on Facebook and put pictures of your dog and your holiday to attract a potential client. But actually, if you're sharing something that's really divisive, potentially offensive, that is going to potentially put somebody off working with you. That's what I want you to start thinking about. And for leaders, it's really important to ensure that you also are maximizing your potential voice and your potential reach. People are going to be looking at your profile. If you've got a team of leaders that are hiring for their teams, when they are speaking to the top talent and the A-class talent out there, they're going to go and have a look at you and your page if you're the founder, because you're the cascade voice. You're the person that's creating and curating the culture. So please don't underestimate the value of personal brand. I know it's become a very overused term, certainly in the last 5 years, but it's something that I think really defines you and means that anybody that is sort of generating business development opportunity and creating sales is absolutely utilizing the opportunity to make a warm landing for whoever it is that they're trying to reach, whether it's clients, candidates, or potential employees. The second thing is not being afraid of technology, but also not being a magpie. I think technology has been possibly the most talked about topic in the last couple of seasons on the podcast. And I'm always very careful not to repeat or duplicate what's already been said in previous episodes. But the purpose of this episode is to almost summarize some of the things that I've really taken advantage of in terms of speaking to the experts in their field. And the reality is we are in a constant evolution with regards to technology, how AI is going to impact and what it's going to do to actually change and make our jobs even easier and better, but it's not going to replace me. So I think it's ensuring you're doing your research. Please do not go and subscribe and start buying lots of different technology without actually understanding its capability and, more importantly, doing your research to ensure it can actually deliver what it says it can deliver. I think there's an awful lot of snake oil sales people out there at the moment, and I think it's really important as recruiters that we don't get distracted by what potentially could be a non-silver bullet. So I think there's a lot of euphemism out there at the moment as to what it can actually achieve. And I think until it's been proven, I think it's definitely wiser to just pause, do your research, and ensure that you've got the right systems in place. And the reality is that if you're not using the current technology that you have, and that includes your CRM, that includes maximizing the reach that you have through what you're currently paying for, then there's literally no point in you adding anything else to that tech stack. Don't get caught up in, well, they're doing this, they're doing this. It's like, what actually works best for your business? I think the third thing is the one that I have probably banged on about more frequently over the last season than in any other season of doing the podcast for the last 5 years. And it's one that if anyone knows me professionally in the real world, it's something that I live and die by, which is you need to get out and meet your customers more than you ever have. If you intend to still be in this industry as we sort of settle down into what this new world will look like in a few years' time, once we've all adapted and implemented whatever changes we need to, it is going to be that human engagement. It's that human interaction. It's about how you made people feel right now, how you made your customers feel. If you're making them just feel like you're just another recruiter that's going to spam a load of CVs, they are not going to choose to partner you when the time comes. They are not going to reach out to you for market insights. They're not going to do that. And if you're thinking about candidate short market, if you've just dismissed a person, can't help you, you're rubbish, or there's no jobs out there at the minute, or you don't do anything to signpost those people, they're not going to come to you when they're in a decision-making power, are they? So those are my three top things that I think every single recruiter should be doing right now. But I'm really interested to know, what would you add to my list? Thank you so much for listening to this solo episode, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the season.